So, am I trapped by fate? It's this huge question, right? Are we actually in control, or is our life already kind of mapped out for us? We've all wrestled with this, and it usually leads us to one big word: karma. But what if I told you that our modern idea of karma is, well, completely backward? Let's take a totally new look at it. I mean, have you ever felt like this? Like, ugh, my life is so hard. Is this just my bad karma? It's that sinking feeling of being totally powerless, you know? Like we're just characters in a story that someone else has already finished writing. It's such a heavy thought, but today, we're going to take that whole idea and just pull it apart, piece by piece. And for some reason, this feeling often gets pinned on Buddhism. It's created this huge misconception that Buddhism is all about fatalism. That little phrase, "it's all my karma," stops being an explanation and starts feeling like a prison sentence. It suggests your destiny is totally sealed, and you just have to accept whatever suffering comes your way because of some past you can't even remember. But the reality? It's the exact opposite. Seriously, far from being about some unchangeable fate, the original teaching is actually centered on something way more powerful: your own free will. It's about your ability to change your own life. Okay, so to really get this, we have to start by taking back one very powerful word from all those misconceptions. We need to explore what karma really means. And the original meaning is, surprisingly simple. The Sanskrit word karma doesn't mean fate. It doesn't mean destiny or some kind of cosmic punishment. It just means action. Or, to be a little more precise, intentional act. It's not a script written for you. It's the action you are taking right here, right now. In fact, you can break it down into 3 really clear, logical reasons why these teachings are basically the enemy of fatalism. Number 1, like we just saw, karma means action. Number 2, there's this core idea called the law of interconnection. And number 3, well, it's the simple fact that spiritual practice even exists. Okay, so that second point, this idea of interconnection, it's absolutely crucial. It's called the law of dependent origination, and it basically says that nothing, and I mean nothing, exists all by itself. Everything comes from this huge interconnected web of causes and conditions, and that web is always changing. So think about it. In a universe where everything is constantly in flux, how could a permanent, unchangeable destiny even be possible? It just doesn't add up. And that brings us right to that third point, which is just simple logic. I mean, really think about it. If your life was already set in stone, what would be the point of meditating or practicing mindfulness or trying to become a better person at all? The very fact that these practices exist is the ultimate proof that change is not just possible, it's the whole point. Okay, so if the original teaching is so clear about this, why do we get it so wrong, right? How did karma end up meaning the same thing as fate? Well, the answer seems to be a mix of history and, well, just plain old human psychology. Let's start with the history. Way back in ancient India, the concept was kind of hijacked. Brahmanism used this twisted version of karma to justify the really rigid caste system. They basically told people, hey, you're low status in this life, that's because of your past life, so just accept it. And then you have the psychological angle. It can be a coping mechanism. When you're facing suffering that just makes no sense, sometimes it feels easier to blame some mysterious past life than it does to face the real, raw pain of what's happening right now. And get this, the Buddha himself was a harsh critic of this fatalistic view. He wasn't subtle about it at all. He even gave it a name, the theory of past causes, and he completely, totally rejected it. So, okay, here's a much better way to think about how the past influences us. Imagine this. The past isn't your destiny. Not at all. The past is just the canvas you've been given to paint on, It determines the texture, maybe the background color. It sets up your starting conditions. But the present? The present is the brush in your hand. You, right here, right now, you're the artist. You're the one who decides what to paint. You choose the colors, you choose the strokes, you create the entire picture. See? The power belongs to the painter, not the canvas. All right, so we've torn down the myth. Now let's build something practical to put in its place. How do we actually turn these ideas into like a mental toolkit we can use to navigate the real challenges of life? We can really zero in on 3 super powerful insights that come straight from this way of thinking: really understanding impermanence, practicing non-attachment, and learning how to cultivate self-compassion. Okay, first up, impermanence. Now, the idea that everything changes might sound a little scary, but it's not a source of anxiety. It is the ultimate source of hope. It means that whatever difficulty you're facing, whatever failure or pain you're feeling today, it's not a permanent reality. It cannot last. Just like the seasons, it is absolutely guaranteed to change. Second, let's talk about non-attachment. There's this incredible line from the Diamond Sutra that goes, "Let your mind arise without abiding in a fixed place." And what that really means is we should let our minds be free. We shouldn't get stuck on or cling to all the external stuff. Like what society says success looks like or what other people think of us. Real freedom is found when you stop letting your happiness depend on things you can't control. And finally, self-compassion. This one is so important. Instead of blaming yourself for the canvas you're given or looking over at someone else's painting and comparing it to yours, just observe your own mind without judging it. Be kind to yourself. You have to recognize that you are trying so damn hard with the tools that you've got. So all of this leads us to one final, really powerful conclusion. It's all about realizing you're not just some passive character in the story of your life. No way. You are the author. A great way to picture this is like a game of cards. The hand you're dealt, that's the situation created by all the past causes. That's your starting point. And yeah, you don't control that. But how you play your cards, that's your creative action, your choice in this very moment. And that is what truly, truly determines the outcome of the game. And this brings us right back to the very core of this teaching. The Buddha said it so simply: intention is karma. It's not about what happened in the past. It's about the intention, the why behind your actions right now. Your present choices, they're like the seeds from which your entire reality grows. The Zen master Imje just captured this entire philosophy perfectly in one phrase. It's Shu Cheo Jak Chu Ipcheo Gaijin. And what it means is this: wherever you are, be the master, and that place will become the truth. The idea is, don't let yourself get pulled along by your circumstances. Stand right where you are, be the protagonist of your own story, and lead your life with intention. So that leaves us with this one final crucial thought. Destiny is not some fixed blueprint that you're forced to follow. It's a living, breathing story. And the one holding the pen, the one who gets to change that story moment by moment, is you.